And welcome back, guys, to another episode of Let's Play Katawa Shoujo. In the last part, I guess we just became part of the student council. That's pretty much all that really happened. We got forced into it. I mean, we could say that yes, we did, but at the same time, no, we were sort of forced into it. Adhering to the nurse's nagging voice in the back of my head, I set my alarm clock to wake me up early enough to go jogging again. I made a promise, and I'm going to keep it. Besides, Emmy is bound to rat on me if I don't show up. But it's not all that bad. My morning alarm goes off, and I flail about uselessly for a while until I remember that I've decided to give the morning runs another shot. I don't know if this was my greatest idea, but I'm determined to keep going. This is about my health, after all. Sure, things haven't been great lately for me, but that hasn't made existence so intolerable that I'm not going to try everything I can to stay healthy. Besides, it's all about asserting some kind of control over this thing, right? If I can manage that, well, I can manage anything. At least that's what I keep telling myself. Once again, it would appear that I'm not alone in my run. Emmy has apparently been here for some time. It looks like she's already worked up a good sweat. Just when the hell does she come down here anyway?
Oh, it's you. I'm surprised to see you again.
Why's that?
Well, not many people actually manage to come back for a second try.
She frowned, seemingly annoyed by a passing thought.
Like the rest of the track team, for instance. Still, it was only supposed to be on a volunteer basis, so it's not that big of a deal, or shock, I guess, in this case. And I guess it's pretty early in the morning.
A shrug, and suddenly it appears that she's forgotten what she was talking about. The frown disappears entirely, and she seems to snap back to her previous train of thought.
So, come on then.
What?
You're here to run again, right?
Well, yes.
So come on.
I find myself suddenly grabbed and yanked onto the track. Things seem to be set on mirroring yesterday's run. That is, I seem to be struggling while Emmy moves with effortlessness that I find inevitable. It's incredibly bothersome to be so easily worn out. I know I should be patient, work towards things gradually, but it's difficult to stay positive about this. We round the track and start our second lap. Emmy seems to have grown impatient, keeping pace with me, and begins to pull away. This is where I gave out yesterday. Will I be able to do more? You know, if he goes at it, then it could really, like, he'll end up in the nurse's office. No doubt about it. You know, but at the same time, if you don't at least try to push yourself, you're never gonna get past that set, right? Gosh, this is actually a pretty hard choice. You think it's pretty easy. It's like, no, don't fuck with your heart condition in a sense, but at the same time, you can't be complacent with what you have, or your heart's never going to at least have some semblance. Because if you don't work on your cardio, then your condition gets worse in a sense, because your body's not prepared for when your heart rate is elevated. This one's tough. Let's go for it. What am I doing here? Am I just going to fold and let Emmy pull ahead? I speed up. The second lap's done quickly, and without even considering it, I keep going. Emmy looks back over her shoulder at me and grins.
Still going?
What did I do to think I'm out of shape? Emmy laughs without breaking her stride, no less, and speeds up even more. Well, if this is the way we're going to play things... Oh, no. No, 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 no. Don't increase your pace. You're fine. I increase my own pace as well. I can feel my lungs burning and my legs are starting to question just what the hell I was thinking I'm doing. Lactic acid screams in my muscles, but I close my ears. I can't let myself fall behind because that would be a loss. The rational voice in my head inquires mildly just when we start playing a game. I'd answer it, but I'm having a lot of trouble thinking at present. She's so fast. How the hell does she... It's like a string pulling at my chest, a choking feeling of narrowness and pain. Before I can think of anything else, then, oh shit, the track disappears from underneath my feet. I stumble, one hand shooting down to clutch my chest, the other hitting the track to keep me from falling on my face. Emmy whirls around and her eyes widen. Hisao! She yells at me, sprinting from the other side of the track. What's wrong? That's just... Keep your breathing steady. Calm down. Don't panic. Don't panic. Do you need me to get the nurse? I close my eyes, shutting out the world, the outside world. My heart struggles to regain its rhythm. Slowly, the pain in my chest begins to subside. Soon, it's gone, like nothing happened. It was... nothing? No. Something happened there. I open my eyes again and glance at a very worried Emmy. I think I'm fine. My voice sounds weird even to myself. Oddly, even in a matter of fact, it makes Emmy frown. I don't think you are. She seems to come to a decision and nods to herself. Right, you're coming with me. You've got to see the nurse. Emmy grabs my arm and drags me up. I feel a bit wobbly, but I refuse the shoulder Emmy offers for support. Honestly, I'm a little ashamed by my own weakness. I'd really rather not have Emmy concerned about me, but it seems to be too late. Heck, I'd really rather not have anyone concerned about my condition, though at this point it seems to be too late for that as well. I like to be able to deal with the whole thing on my own, without being a bother to anyone else. While I'm wishing for things, I'd rather not have this condition in the first place. Nurse? Does this guy have a name? Like, I mean, he's probably not as important as you think. I think he did introduce himself a couple of parts ago, but he's so... they just call him Nurse, so it's so difficult to really pinpoint. Emmy crashes into his office without knocking, but it doesn't alarm the nurse in the least. Good morning, Sunshine. What's up? Sunshine? Anyway, he calmly sips from his coffee mug, but lays it down after following Emmy's gaze to me looming in the doorway. Hisao, what brings you here? We were running, and he stumbled over and started grabbing his chest, and I thought I'd come and get you and make myself... Easy there, Emmy. Calm down. Hisao, what happened? I don't know. We were running, and then my chest started hurting, like that time before, but it went away after a few seconds. It was just a flutter or something. The nurse frowns as if to say that just a flutter is some kind of oxymoron. I didn't mean quite this when I suggested you get some exercise. You've got to be more careful, Hisao. I was being careful. Come to think of it, I just got into a race with a member of the track team. Doesn't seem as well reasoned as I thought it would. You just what? That is... I was racing Emmy. Emmy, is this true? Emmy fidgets, looking adorably contrite. Well... Finally, she can't seem to bring herself to say it out loud, and merely nods. The nurse sighs and rubs his forehead, with one hand tiredly. Emmy, you've got to be more sensitive to the limits of others. I don't know if he told you, but Hisao has a bad heart, and getting him to race you was incredibly irresponsible. Actually, I started it. The nurse is stunned by my statement. You what? We were just running, and Emmy started to pull away, so I, sped up to catch her. The nurse stares at the ceiling, muttering a prayer for patience to come to some god or another, and looks back down at the both of us. So you're both stupid. That's a comfort, I guess. Now, come on, Asao. I've got to make sure your heart's not going to explode or something. I dutifully obey and follow him to the adjacent room, where we ascertain that I am, in fact, not going to keel over and die. So, how does it feel? I don't know. Nothing much. Tired, but might be just from the exercise. You should stay here for a few hours and rest. We'll see how you feel after that. Am I going... I'm not going to object, so I lie down on the infirmary bed. Oh, Jesus. A thoroughly miserable Emmy comes in after getting an earful from the nurse in the other room. I couldn't hear what she said through the closed door, but I'm sure it wasn't pleasantries.
Look, I'm really, really sorry. I should have been more careful.
Hey, you didn't know. It's not your fault. She looks awfully down and sorry, and my reassurance don't do anything much to cheer her up.
I want to make it up to you.
Again, with that decisive nod.
So, you have to come to lunch with me. I'll bring it for you, okay? Something really, really good.
I start with, you don't have to, but then shut up and just nod at her when I see her face.
Good. We meet on the roof.
We?
Yep, the weather's nice now, so the roof is a great spot for lunch, you know?
I see.
You'll come, right? You wouldn't deny me the chance to make it up to you.
Of course not.
Great! See you there!
Don't I have student council duties? Well, we're gonna find out if that conflicts with us joining the student council. I stay afloat somewhere between asleep and awake, feeling completely drained. Not only my body, but all of me is limp and paralyzed apart from my senses. I swallow with difficulty and then try to lie as still as I can, which in this state is not a very hard thing to do. The nurse is shuffling around on the other side of the curtains. He drew to give me privacy. I can see his shadow shifting about in the sunlight. He has opened the window of his office. It's windy outside. The clean white curtains flutter in the breeze in a heavy, lazy motion, like waves. Light sifts through them slowly, half absorbing into the fabric. And now I fall asleep, and then I die in my sleep. No, I hope not. I really hope not. I close my eyes. The breeze on my face feels like soft fabric of the curtains. I listen to the sound of my heartbeat for a moment, trying to shut out the sounds of the nurse tapping away on his computer and my own heavy breathing. It's steady. Damn it. Not even a week and I end up like this again. I'm really screwed up this time. Should have known better than to play the half-baked sports star in front of a real one. And why did I try to act brave? Like that heart flutter was no big deal, even when it was obvious that it was. It was just a reflex to push it away, to keep it inside. I didn't want it to happen. I didn't want Emmy to see it. Stupid. I have to be more careful, or I will end up in the hospital again, or worse. It's my final thought before I give in to the tiredness. It looks like you fell asleep. I fell asleep. For how long? What time is it? I'm feeling a little lightheaded and I keep blinking compulsively. Pushing the curtain aside, I squint my eyes against the unfiltered light pouring in from the window. The texture of the canvas feels nothing like the wind did before. Nurse looks up from his work, sitting exactly where he was before. How are you feeling? I can't really tell, so I don't answer anything. I'm feeling kind of groggy from falling asleep at such a weird time. Hopefully, I don't look too weird. What time is it? Me croaking the question to gain some orientation, the nurse looks at his wristwatch before answering. Things seem to happen in slow motion. 10:15. I try to think for a moment what that means, but I'm not really sure. You didn't answer my question, Asao. Oh, fine. Lie down from that bed then, and let's see how you are doing. Don't... I try to do exactly that, only to sway dizzily when I move too fast. The nurse moves to support me by an arm and sighs. Stand up too quickly. is what I was going to say. Just sit there. I'll check your pressure to make sure. My good intentions sure lasted for a long time. I shut up, embarrassed with myself, while the nurse gets busy with an old-fashioned contraption in my arm. After a couple of minutes, he puts it away and looks neither pleased nor unhappy. You're alright. Head stop spinning? Yeah. Good. And how about the content? How are the contents doing? You didn't show very good judgment out there, Hisao. I'll swallow the retort I was going to make. It's what I was thinking myself, but hearing it stated by somebody else makes me want to protest. What's he saying is not pleasant to hear. Doesn't make him any less right. No, sir. He nods, still looking as natural as he was before. It would be easy to be angry at him if he said, "Told you so," or something, but he doesn't. I can try and help you to keep your health, but ultimately the last call lies with you. Hopefully this little episode will be something that'll remind you of that fact. Here, a note for your teacher to avoid an interrogation. I take the slip of paper he's offering and then make my leave, as I can't think of anything else to say, nor even really want to. Stay out of trouble, you hear? I don't think it was anything but a scare, but next time could be different. I hear you. There is some ways to get to the school building straight from the auxiliary building, but I'm not keen to find out and possibly get lost, so I get out from the exit that I know works. I stop at the stairs of the auxiliary building, deliberating for a moment between going to the dorms to get my books and stuff and going straight away to class. The sun stings my eyes, so I head towards the dorms. The halls are quiet as the wait. I thought he just said that he was heading towards the dorms. Why is he in the school now? Okay, that was kind of weird. The halls are quiet, as the courtyard was, naturally. So since everyone is in class, I knock lightly on the door of 3-3. Excuse me. And push open the door when Muto calls from the other side. Sorry, I'm late. 15 pairs of eyes turn to me. Good morning, Nakai. Muto seems to be somewhat confounded by my coming in late, as if I interrupted his flow or something. Judging from the rambling lecture his class tends to be, that might be the case. I pass him the note the nurse gave me. Muto takes it with a nod and reads it quickly. He lifts his eyebrows and gives me a kind of stern look, but doesn't say anything, just nods solemnly again. I shrug and he gestures at me to run along, so I naturally do. Only 2 pairs of eyes remain keenly following me as I walk to my seat. I'm not surprised in the least when I feel Misha's fingernails prickle through my shirt about 15 seconds after sitting myself.
Psst, where were you?
None of your business. I know this is probably the worst answer I can give, as it only serves to pique their curiosity, but I have no energy to come up with an elaborate cover story right now. However, Misha backs off. She unexpectedly fast to give up today. In a minute, she's back at Pokemon. Man, for a second there, I was going to give Misha some credit. I was like, oh, okay, maybe he doesn't want to talk about it right now. Nope.
Come on, tell us. Shi-chan is very interested too.
It was just my wishful thinking. She just talked about it with Shizune, probably devising ways to get me to spill the beans. No. Oh. See, this is the thing. I guess maybe because I'm imposing myself onto a character. Though we are in Hisao's mind, he is his own character, right? And we do sort of influence some of his decisions, but not all of them. So, in this case, I would just fucking tell them. I don't see why you need to be this content with it. Maybe it's because I'm older than him. You know, I can't remember the time when I was in my teen years where I kept things to myself. I don't think I ever did. I have to ask my parents. And some of my friends that I still have from back then. But see, that's the thing, is I never felt like I had squall syndrome. I never said whatever but thought a million things. That came later in life, I find. She retreats to negotiate again.
As a member of the student council, it's your duty to tell us why you are skipping class, especially if it's something fun.
Yeah, I sure was having fun at the nurse's office. I don't want to talk about it, okay? You know, like, see, now that I say it out loud, I'm like, I'm just gonna tell them, right? Like, that's what I feel. But the way that that's worded is like he's gonna be an asshole about it. So I'm a little worried about that. But you know what? We'll save this on a cliffhanger. Isn't this a great place to save it on a cliffhanger? I think so. So take care, guys. Stay frosty, and I hope you have a good rest of the day.